welcome to the Dirty Folks Daycare. I am your main man, Dirty Folks. I appreciate y'all being here. And for those watching on Rumble, welcome to the Comedy Report. We in here, man. I would have put this on the YouTube Comedy Report channel, but we're about to do a little ganging banging, you know. So I don't want to be a ganger banger on the Comedy Report, but it's gonna be live. Um, Make sure y'all like as y'all come in, man. This is gonna be a great show, man. Make sure y'all like for y'all come in, man. Like as you come in, man. Send your heart, donate to the daycare, bro.
Dirty Folks needs your support. Please donate to the Daycare Fund.
Do you have some change?
Yo, this is all the way out of order. All right, so there's been a lot going on in the last few days with the migrants, the illegals. And I want to talk about it real quick. So apparently, let me move this here. No, I want to kick it off. I want to kick it off. So apparently, man, somebody sent me a post. I was trying to figure out why I had in this order. Somebody sent me this post, and it's a tweet. Hold on, let's not go there yet. We about to go there next. It was a tweet from Nas. Somebody said they really on this app acting like black gangs don't terrorize black neighborhoods every day. And Nas Escobar, he said, name the black American gang that has taken over apartment complexes with guns by force, and name the city where they operate. There's actually a third part to this post where say, man, every major city in America. And volume, man, I just check this guy. All right, give me a second. Man, this is a conspiracy, man. C-O-N conspiracy. It's a C-O-N conspiracy, man. Every time, man, I set my You know what? Thank God the computer worked. Thank God the computer worked. Volume is in the union or something. You know, it work when they want to work. But shout out to that. All right, so let me do a quick this cleanup. Because maybe that's why. All right, now the post said, man, name a black American gang. Nasir said, name the black American gang that has taken over apartment complexes with guns by force, and name the city where they operate. I don't know if the operative word here is by force. I'm not sure if that's the designated thing. But when they said it, I was like, yo, I could think of 4 off the top of my head. I'm like, and I could think of 20 if I really put some thought behind it, right? And then I had to think of 20 because the first 4 I thought of was BDs, right? And I can't give BDs credit like that. But shout out to the BDs, but y'all can't be my first thought. And as a matter of fact, my number one thought was the Calumet building. So in the 1990s, and all these was BDs. BDs was doing some dollar diplomacy in the 1990s, bro. I'm not even going front, bro. It's chef kiss, bro. I ain't gonna hate, no shade. And we was under one love then. It wasn't like it is now, right? So back in like the early 1990s, there were some twins, like Von J and Vontae or some shit like that. Don't quote me on their names. We called them the BD twins. They was just the BD twins, right? And I'm not going to talk too much. They already incriminated. I can't incriminate the incriminated. But like they claim the fame was two things. Number one, they bought the Calumet City building, the 3125 on 3125 South Calumet, right? So 32nd and Calumet, right behind a club called the Taste. So the Taste will have strippers on the weekends. They will have gay stripper on Thursday, female strippers on Friday and Saturday, and male strippers on Sunday. But then like Monday through Thursday until the strippers came, it was just like a bar restaurant type of thing, right? It was called the Taste. Matter of fact, Chicago history, the bouncer for the Taste in the 1980s was Mr. T. I pity the fool. I pity the fool. I wear a mohawk. Mr. T used to work at the Taste. One of the guys came to see some strippers and saw Mr. T at the Taste with his crazy ass mohawk and all that fake jewelry. His jewelry was fake at the time. He didn't have as much. And they gave him an opportunity to act. Then he ended up being in Rocky and the A-Team and a bunch of stuff. But Mr. T is from Chicago. He used to work at the Taste. So right behind the Taste was an apartment building called the Calumet building, because it was on Calumet Avenue. You know, makes sense, right? And it was always known for crime. So around the 1990s, Chicago started selling their projects because they wanted to tear down the projects, but they wanted to get paid for it. So they told all the residents who lived in the projects now, they told all the residents, look, we're going to sell this building within a year. You have 12 months to come up with X amount of money to buy the projects, if that's what you choose to do. If not, you have to relocate. You have 12 months to relocate. Use your voucher, move somewhere else, right? So State Street was gone. That was immediately gone, right? So the Stateway buildings, the Ida B. Wells, the Robert Taylor homes, the 5150 building, the 4750 building, and every building I'm talking about, by the way, had their own gang. And their own gang took over the project building. So when they say, man, name an American gang that took over apartment complexes, every fucking gang in America, nigga. That's how gang banging works. You take over your providence, right? And every building had their own gang, and every building was known for selling a different drug. So the 5150 building, and they had snipers on the roof. You walk in, it was scary, bro. Man, it was a big open apartment, a big open parking lot, like super huge parking lot. No trees, no fences, nothing, just open air. And it was a 16 floor project building. You could see the snipers on the roof. You could see the BDs on the roof with rifles and everything gated because it's the goddamn projects, right? So it wasn't even like open like the kids. And it was gated because even though it looked like jail, because, you know, projects are jail. Like, let's not get it twisted, right? But they had gates on every floor so you couldn't hop off the terrace, right? And they said it was for safety reasons for kids, which I can get. But for safety reasons for kids, you just do it to like 4 feet because you don't want kids to climb and hop out, right? They really did it so when the police raided, them boys couldn't jump down and slide down the gutter pole and get away. But it don't matter why they did it. Everything looked like jail. So every floor had this iron mesh gate on it, 16 floors, snipers on the roof. You had to walk through the lobby. Before you get to the whatever little security booth that was supposed to be there, but they didn't have no security. Like whoever was supposed to work there for the housing police did not come to work ever, nigga. Ever. They never came to work. So there was no who you coming to see. Like there was no security guard to be like, who you coming to see? Let me see your ID. I'll call up there and see if they would. No. It's the door, then the lobby, then it's a security desk, no security work at, then it's the elevators. But there's no security in there. When you get to that gate, them boys gonna ask you who you coming to see. But you ain't coming to see nobody because they at the gate. Bro, best weed in America, man, they got that time. Best weed in America. And they only sold dubs, but they were selling 3.5s. They were selling 3.5s for a dub. Back then, pillows, bro, pillows. It was almost worth risking your life for, right? So, you know what I mean? So you go through this big ass parking lot with no cover, nowhere to hide, snipers on the roof. You get to the thing, it's 3 dudes, 2 of them got Uzis, 1 of them got a shotgun, right? And then they got 2 dudes right in front of them. So like in the doorway is 2 Uzis and a shotgun. Right outside the doorway is 2 dudes. One of them got a big ass, like one of them big ass freezer bags, like the Ziploc freezer bags, but it's huge, the huge ones, right? He got a big ass freezer bag full of 3.5. So you pay one dude and the other dude give you the 3.5, like right on the spot. You pay one dude, he counting the money, he doing the count. The other dude giving the 3.5. It's 3 dudes with guns, like I said, 2 Uzis. So maybe they had Tech 22s. Whatever was cool at that time. It might have been Tech 22s that was cool at the time. Now the kids would call them switches. You know, they switches today, you know. But back then we just had Uzis, Tech 22s. You know, we called them by the name. And a shotgun, right? But they never messed with the clientele. Like they never fucked up the money. Never fucked up the money. They didn't rob anybody. They didn't harass anybody. There was no, if you wasn't on bullshit, you could pay for your purchase and leave with no problem. Like they were handling their business. But they definitely had that building on lock. So right there at the front, that's where everybody got the weed. If you wanted to get heroin, you had to go to the 3rd floor, which means you had to have an escort. So there was 2 other guys at the elevator with semi-automatics that would take you to the 3rd floor to get the dope, if that's what you chose to do. We never got dope, but like if you just turn your head in it, you can see the 2 dudes by the elevator with the guns, right? It was an orderly operation. And all those kids went to school together. They grew up in the same building together, which is why I say the by force. Did they take over the complex by force? Now the residents who weren't part of the game, they didn't even feel forced, right? Because you still had that nerd that went to school, wanted to be a lawyer, and everybody called him a nerd, but nobody messed with him because he lived in the building. They might fight him or something, but they not trying to kill him or anything like that. Because dumb people harass nerds. That's just part of being a child. When you black, they don't respect intelligence, but they weren't overtly messing with anybody, right? You just come in, boom, get you. That was the 5150 building. The 4735 building was known for cocaine, right? You want to go get the coke. They got one line for rocks, and it was a long ass line because crack was hot in the 90s, right? And then they have a separate line behind it if you want to buy weight, right? So you can get anything. I think they were selling 8 balls. It might have been selling quarters and up, but I think they were selling 8 balls and up. Once again, those were GDs, not as orderly to be fair, but they still wouldn't rob you. But they were talking, because their problem was they also shot dice in their parking lot. And you know how niggas and dice go, so it'd be some bullshit sometimes, right? BDs didn't gamble or nothing while they were working, but the GDs would gamble. So you have to, you can handle your business, but then you got to watch the dudes in the parking lot because they might have just lost their money on the dice game or something. It's kind of messy. But anyway, but once again, was it by force, right? Was it an outside force? Because the GDs from the 4725 building couldn't go take over the BDs on the 5150 building, and they sure couldn't go and mess with the Mickey Cobras at the 53, whatever the 53 something, whatever, on 53rd Street, right, where the snake pit was at. That was all Mickey Cobras, right? Like every gang had a building. So to say that, man, name the Black American gang that took over apartment complex, all of them. But my point is, well, that was my point. But to buttress that point, when Chicago, when CHA, Chicago Housing Agency, was selling a building, these boys are making anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000 a day, bro. A day. And when it came down, they was trying to sell the building for $1 million. Nobody wanted to ante up their money to buy the building, right? So that's why all those project buildings on State Street got torn down. However, the project buildings on 63rd, we on 63rd. You had 63rd and Calumet, which was and to this day I want to talk to dude. I ain't gonna lie. Marvell Thompson. Marvell Thompson ran the 51, the 61. I'm sorry, the 62nd Street. It's like 6149 or something like that. But on 62nd and Calumet, I just lied. On 62nd and Indiana, on 62nd and Indiana Avenue, Marvell, who was the king of the BDs at that time, ran that building. That was their headquarters. Marvell paid the rent for that building so they wouldn't foreclose that building, that project building. It's down now, but it survived the 1990s, right? It survived that building survived Biden and Clinton's crime bill, but Marvell didn't. Marvell got popped. But Marvell did some crazy. I want to do a movie about Marvell Thompson and the BD twins. That's why I want to talk to Marvell. They pirated a radio station, all types. They were selling cocaine out of fried chicken. They was doing wild shit. That was like 2003 though. They survived the 1990s. They bought the building. Well, he rented his building. They survived the 1990s. They didn't get indicted in the when the 1990. It's a year between 1995 and 1997. It's an election year, but we don't talk about that year because that's the year everybody got indicted. Nigga, the whole city got indicted. Nigga, I saw my picture in the Chicago sometimes. Nigga, everybody got indicted. So that's the year we don't speak on like Voldemort. But some year, election year, I think Clinton got elected. Every election year they have a war on crime. Every election year, that's how they do it. So we don't talk about that year, but it was some year between 95 and 97, man. Everybody got locked up. 52 GD governors, all the fucking Mickey Cobras, goddamn it, man. All the Latin Kings got popped in 94. Like they had a whole sweep of gangs, and which is why Chicago's wild now, because there's no structure, because they locked up the head. They had this whole thing in the newspaper. We cut the head off the snake. The body will follow. No, a body without a head. It's just reckless. It's a zombie now. But anyway, I digress. The people who actually bought their building were the BD twins.
Where they talk about how they grew up in two separate households, how they had a dad who lived across town, who had a very structured environment. Man. I remember one of the...
They speedballing my story. The pause don't be pausing. I just clipped this part right here because I want to bring a couple of things to your attention. The 6125, so 62nd and Calumet building is next to a high school, 2 blocks away from a college, Kennedy King College, community college, right behind a club, The Taste. I want to pause this picture real quick. And I'm going to talk about this later. I'm going to tie this in. I want to talk about their t-shirts. Their t-shirts say Project Hood. And Project Hood is run by Pastor Corey Brooks. Pastor Corey Brooks' church is in the parking lot of O Block. When y'all hear me talk about, man, I ran up in O Block for the first time to beat up Steve Harvey in the church, nigga, it was Pastor Corey Brooks' church. I'm showing you this because these boys, bro. These boys, bro. I mean, they used to ride around with texts on their lap. But that's just because they had so much bread. So much bread. I remember they had twins. They was known as the BD twins because they had twin Bentleys. The one on the left had a green Bentley. The one on the right had a gray Bentley. Twin Bentleys matched the year. And the rumor was, I'm not going to say no names. I ain't trying to indict nobody. The rumor was that took their money and put the Bentleys in his name so they was riding around with a heavy hitter. That's how they got around it. Because you can't put a Bentley in your mama's name, bro. You sure can't put 2 Bentleys in your... So, my point before I push play, I want to let y'all know that all
where they talk about how they grew up in two separate households, how they had a dad who lived across town who had a very structured environment. I remember one of the two talking about how he was of African descent. Environment. I remember very structured environment, lived across town who dad who lived they had a dad who lived across town who had a very structured environment. They had a dad who lived across town who had a very structured environment. They had a dad who lived across town who had a very structured environment. I remember one of the two talking about how he was of African descent and how they knew that they could expect 3 meals a day when they went over to their dad's house, but it was a whole different situation when they were at their mom's house, who lived in a place called a Calumet building that was on 62nd and Calumet. Place called a Calumet building that was on 62nd and Calumet. I seen them talking about early on when staying at their mom's house, it was a struggle to find a meal and you would get it any way that you know how. I saw where one brother said if he was stealing hot dogs, the other brother was stealing potatoes. So they grew up really, really young, scrapping and fighting to try to get it. And they joined the gang at a very young age, as early as 12. I saw.
man, click like as y'all come in. Click like as y'all come in. Send your heart, donate to the daycare. They clicked up at 12 years old. That's very common. In Chicago, they tribe properly in Chicago. They don't tribe on black. I remember when they came hollered at us when we was in school, bro. We was 11. We were like between the ages of 11 and 13, and they just came up to like, yo, y'all got to choose a gang. Y'all gonna be GD, breed. Y'all never heard about BGs, the black gangsters, like, but we call them breeds. But the BGs, they weren't that deep, but they was all hitters, bro. All hitters. Because they wasn't that deep, so they really had to get down how they live to keep their little turf. It was like, man, look, and the BDs wasn't even a thing yet when I was 11. They was like, look, you're going to be BGD, you're going to be a breed, or you're going to be a Mickey Cobra. I think they also say you could be a Vice Lord. But they, like, it was... Now that I think about it, bro, it was like a college recruiting session, bro. Like, no cap. Like, it was like all four gangs come to you and they tell you about their anemones and how many girls you got and how many girls they got, how many nation hoes and how much money you can get. Like, all y'all be thinking, oh, you get jumped in. Nah, you don't even get jumped in. Not in Chicago, because we civilized people in Chicago, right? We civilized. This ain't L.A. or New York niggas that try to act like L.A. We civilized Chicago. They had everything but a brochure. They told you, man, look, if you're more comfortable with your hat cocked this way or that way, man, look, who like to wear red? Ain't nobody wearing red every day, bro. Look, you can wear blue and black, man. You got a bunch of outfits blue and black. You might as well be folks. Like, they had the Vice Lords, the Mickey Cobras, the GDs, and the breeds. And they will just come recruit you what you want to be. And then if you tell them, like, I want to be such and such, the gang will, like the Mickey Cobras will escort you to the GD coordinator. Like, go over there, man, talk to them. That's your table over there. It was almost like a job fair. The way they recruited you at 11 years old was damn near like a job fair. No cap. In our area, in our little area. If you live in the projects, you are what your building is. But even that's, you know, it's optional, right? So at 11 years old, you have to pick your logo. You got to pick your logo, bro. And then you got to ride with that logo. And it's your job to make that logo worth something. It's your job to protect the logo. It's your job to defend the logo. It's your job to earn for the logo. It's the logo's job to protect you and provide for you and give you the network and the opportunity for you to be your greatest self in the logo. It's us playing ball with Reggie Rose. And Reggie was cold, but he was an alcoholic and he didn't like going to school. But Reggie could hoop. Reggie Rose and Reggie Red, they was best friends, and I knew Red, and we all hooping. We didn't know that 10 years later, Reggie had a little brother named Derek. And the whole hood protected Derek. If y'all look, there's games you see Derrick Rose throwing up the pitchforks. Just like there's games where Kevin Garnett, when he played for the Celtics, play against Chicago and was throwing down the pitchforks because he a vice lord. That's why every time you listen to Kevin Garnett talk, you be like, damn, Lord, what up, Lord? Because his tribalism is that strong that even at pushing 50, that nigga still, yeah, aye, Lord. You choose your logo, and you ride with that logo, and you become the best self, the best representation of that logo. Will there always be bad seeds that hang on the street corner and drink 40 ounces? Yeah, but it's bad seeds without no logo. At least if they got the logo, you can be like, man, bro, chill. Go sit on that vacant porch or something. But I understand how the BD twins became BDs at 12 years old, being exposed to their mother's house. We may not know who the BD twins are if they dad would have been able to maintain custody. If they mama didn't need kids in order to get a free apartment, we might never know who the BD twins were. But those boys went up the rank. They hustled heavy. They found out what heroin was. They got that money. They bought some Bentleys. And they bought their building. They spent 1.5. Cashed out. Bought the building that their mom brought them up in. They bought the Calumet building. The 6125 building. It was a 5-level building. Matter of fact, hold on. Damn, I had a map of it up. I took down the map. What'd I do that for? What'd I take down the map for? Alright. Can't show y'all the map. I can't show y'all the map. Hold on. If I gotta look, I ain't gonna make y'all. Man, support the show, man. We're gonna look for the map. While I look for the map, man, support the show.
Hey, baby. How much do you need?
Not much. Just enough for a new wig and a BBL.
Can dirty folks
Daddy,
you say mama.
I darn tootin' I did.
That means you love her.
That's what I've been trying to tell her.
Damn, I forgot I can't use my keyboard. That's my preset buttons. My bad. So, I'm gonna give y'all the visual aid. See if the map bullshit me today. I had it up. That's why I'm mad. I had it up. It was already hard to find. Cause I don't want to show you nothing. Hey, tore down the building and tore down the taste. That's crazy. That's crazy. No more Calumet. But the Calumet building was about the height of that. It was 5 floors. It was a white brick building, concrete building, because it was like the projects, right? 5 floors. The way they set up was right. The first floor was nothing, right? There was nothing on the first floor. You could walk through the lobby. There was no thuggery, right? Get on the elevator. As soon as you get to every floor had a different drug. So the second floor was weed, right? You get marijuana on the second floor. The third floor was cocaine and crack. The fourth floor was heroin. I don't know what was on the fifth floor. But the way they had it organized, when you're going in, they'll ask you, like, is somebody by the elevator? But he just acting like he loitering. It's not like the 5150 building, 5150 South Federal building. It wasn't like the buildings of Stateway. They weren't just people with guns outside, because it was a different environment, different. It was a project building in the middle of a community. Like I said, it's down the block from a college, across the street from a school. You know what I mean? It's a different type of community. It was just that one, 5-story. It wasn't no 16, 26-story project building. It was 5 stories, right next to a club, a popular club too. Like, it was a different vibe. So they had to move different. So they, there's one person by the elevator, be like, what you trying to get? Like, I'm trying to get some weed. All right, floor 2. You know what I mean? What you trying to get? I'm trying to get some crack. All right, floor 3. You know what I mean? And they ask, man, rocks or weight? Man, wait, all right, floor 3, go left. Instead of going right, go left. Like, they had it organized, drugs by the floor, right? So, shout out to the BD twins. Eventually, one of them got locked up in the Fed. In a year we'll never speak on again. One of them got locked up in the feds. The other one moved to Atlanta and opened up a car wash. And the one that got locked up, even though he was literally known as the BD twins, he was like, I ain't got no twin brother. It was all me. He took the whole weight. He was one of them boys that didn't come home for 22 years, but he home now though. Shout out to Valmar, whichever his name. Shout out to him. He home now. But yeah, so then they came back home. And they joined they joined Project Hood. Now, let's get to these shady ass Venezuelans, right? I said all that to say because it was talking about, once again, Nas, who from the projects. He from Queensbridge Projects, the biggest projects in America. Asking what American gang has taken over apartment complexes. That is wild coming from Nas, bro. That is wild. That's wild. The dude that was talking about, man, he got the tech on the dresser. That dude. The dude that's talking about, man, he ran like a cheetah with thoughts of an assassin, shooting dudes in the grass in front of his project building. That dude. That's heavy cap, bro. That's heavy cap. I mean, that's just amazing.
That is amazing.
That's amazing. That's amazing. From Nas, that's amazing. Anyway. So, wait, wrong one. Let me go back. So, apparently, 2 days ago, late last night, an alarming situation unfolded in Chicago as approximately 32 armed individuals, reportedly Venezuelan migrants, seized control of an apartment complex at 6124 South King Drive. On 62nd and King Drive. We're going to break this down. This incident raised significant concerns about the safety and law enforcement response in urban residential areas. From the defund the police people, that's crazy. I'm not even going to read this whole article. Let's go straight to the video. Let's go straight to the call. I'm not going to waste time with it.
Some of the guns, 6124 South King Drive. Caller says 32 Venezuelans are trespassing the building, showing guns in the courtyard, and they have motorcycles in the courtyard as well. All they're filled. Nothing further is unclear. Yeah, I'm sorry. Are you headed over to the shot splitter or to the 6124 and King for the migrants?
On King Drive.
All right, 10-4. There's another available unit arrive at 310. We had multiple calls. First with the gun, 6124 South King. Also came over to disturbance large gathering. Said to be 32 Venezuelans trespassing in the building property, showing guns in the courtyard. They have motorcycles in the courtway, all stairwells filled. And nothing further.
3.
Yo, she said nothing further. This is the funniest part. I never caught this. This part right here. He didn't give her no rhythm. Watch this. Playing them. Twitter tripping. Come on, play. Hold on, I'm gonna start it over.
Headed over to the shot splitter or to the 6124 and King for the migrants?
I says, okay, girl.
King Drive.
Okay, girl. Yo, that's hilarious to me, bro. Like, she over here doing her little dispatch job, and the police like, okay, girl. Like, even police tired of women being police, bro. That is hilarious. This is like a plus you got to know the area. But that okay, girl just caught me off guard. All right, watch this. This is the 6124 courtyard that they're talking about. Gated apartment. It's on 6124 South Martin Luther King Drive. Now, you know, anything on Martin Luther King, anything, you expect to hear gunshots, right? Anywhere in America, everywhere in America, if it's Martin Luther King anything, that man that marched for peace, all you hear is gunshots on Martin Luther King anything. Right? Nah, I didn't. I'm going to check Mineral Mitch. What the fuck is my phone? I'm going to take a break, look for my phone. The irony of this is Tookaville. Let me expand this map. I don't know if you guys can see this. See if I can bring this up. This is 62nd and King Drive. This is Tookaville. This is 63rd and King Drive. This is Parkway Gardens, which y'all call O Block. So they're on 61st and King Drive, 62nd, between 61st and 62nd. 63rd through 65th is O Block. Do you think that these boys on 63rd Street and these boys on 63rd Street on the other side, you think they don't shoot? You think that they running from people with guns? Have you heard the rap for the last 20 years? They call it drill rap because these boys on these two blocks. These boys on 64th and King Drive, which is Parkway Gardens, and the boys on 63rd and King Drive, which is Tookaville, is the reason that drill rap exists. All what was Shorty folks' name? Lil Baby too. Lil Baby was from over there. I can't think of his name. But the ones that Chief Keef used to be Chief Keef friend and he shot and that started the whole rap war. I can't think of Shorty name right now. I apologize. But that's where you get the block. This block right here. This 6120 on King Drive. If you go one block east, like one block east, that's FBG Duck Block. FBG Duck and FBG Cash. You think them FBG boys don't shoot? You think them Parkway Garden boys don't shoot? Them old block niggas, them Tookaville niggas, they not scared of gunshots. The Venezuelans are getting way too comfortable. They're not knowing where they are. They don't understand the element, or maybe they do. Maybe they do. For years, people have been talking about the negative connotation of rap music, right? For years, right? And it's talking about how people have been showcasing the worst of us. When you think about the element of you make it comfortable for people to bust in your neighborhood when you sit where you sleep. People think it's cool to do things where you sleep. One of the things that, because my dad, he got Asperger, he autistic. He had fun. I didn't even know the man had Asperger until I was 40. Nigga, I'm 45 years old. I ain't know the nigga was retarded until I was 40, bro. That's crazy. That's because he drive trucks, though. I ain't see him that often, but I knew that nigga was off somehow, though. I ain't know he was retarded. But anyway, he has pet peeves, and one of his pet peeves is littering. He can't stand people that litter, and he can't stand people that double park. And when I was young, the littering thing used to get to me because my dad would go wild. Like Droopy. Like how you could beat up Droopy for anything, but you better not touch Droopy girl or he'll fight. Like, you could do anything to my dad. Rob him, cuss him out. Girls could beat him up. But if he caught a stranger littering, he would lose his fucking mind, bro. It was wild. And littering was his trigger, right? That was his trigger. Like, don't litter. And what I noticed was, as I got older, I mean older as in my late teens, early 20s, I noticed that when there's no litter on the ground, you don't litter in other people's communities. You'll look for a garbage can if the block already looks clean. If they cutting their grass, they used to call it the broken windows theory, right? If your neighborhood is clean, even strangers will help you keep it clean. But if you don't have grass, you got patches of dirt, you got litter, you know what I mean? People will just throw their potato chip bag in front of your house because they like, you already got cigarette butts and everything else in front of your house. What's one more potato chip bag, right? When you're not clean, people don't care about keeping your area clean, right? Same rules apply for Tookaville and O-Block, man. Same rules apply for Tookaville and O-Block. So apparently, the Venezuelans, after they left the 6125 building, they go down to the 6425 building and decide they want to shoot at O-Block. And they start shooting at Parkway Gardens in the most cowardly way possible. They shot at Parkway Gardens like a tourist, to be honest with you. But the fact that they shot at Parkway Gardens, now you got the GDs and the BDs on your ass. But don't take my word for it. Let's check it out.
Wow, mira. Wow, por la 66. Allá. Home block, mamá, huevo, está por allá. Nosotros estamos por aquí. Joder, el malandrío.
There's a few things that I noticed from this video. In fact, I'm put it on mute and let it play. There's a few things I got from this video. Number one, definitely O-Block. They're on 66th Street. That's O-Block, definitely. They shooting from across the street. For those who don't know, there are people that live in those apartments in the front, but all the action happened in the back. All the shooters happen in the back. The basketball court in the back. Like, once you go in those gates, you might not come back out. Where they're at, they're on King Drive, but they're on there's no safe side of King Drive. I mean, it's still Martin Luther King. But they're not in there. It's like 3 in the morning, nobody outside, and they're shooting. They went up there like, when Tekashi 69 said he in O-Block and you heard birds chirping, it was like 4:30 in the morning. Like, they went to O-Block when nobody was out and shot from across the street at the projects. Coward shit, really, but they did it. They did it like a tourist, and that's what was fucking with me. They didn't do it like we gonna take it over. They did it like a tourist, like they shooting in the air or they shooting arbitrarily at nobody at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. The second thing that I noticed is people keep talking about, man, the street gangs can't take these Venezuelans. Man, they military trained. It's a different type of motherfucker. These niggas listen to rap music, bro. He don't know no words, but all this motherfucker keeps saying is he blood. Listen to this shit. I ain't making this up.
Home block, mamá, huevo, está por allá. Nosotros estamos por aquí. Joder, el malandrío. Wow, mírala. Wow, por la 66. Allá. Home block, mamá, huevo, está por allá.
Chicago doesn't have Crips and Bloods. We straight folks and bros. We don't have Bloods and Crips. That's that rap shit. They're not military trained. These motherfuckers on watch rap videos, once again, make it feel like they're shooting like tourists. Like, this is what you do when you go on O Block. You welcome them with gunshot bursts, right? So they went to Tookaville, which I'm too old for that shit. My little cousins had to tell me what Tookaville was and who Tuka was and how the BDs shot Tuka and they rolled for Tuka, and then they shot Odie, so they named it O Block for Odie's block. And I had to find out the lore of the silly shit. So they went where the GDs are first, and they shot in the air, and somehow they got motorcycles through the gate. I don't know how they got motorcycles through the gate. Don't give me the mind. I don't know how they got motorcycles in the gate. Let me see if I can take this down. I don't know. That's a courtyard. Maybe you can fit a bike through there. Maybe. I don't know why they got motorcycles in there. And they shot in the air. In the courtyard building. Didn't hit anybody. Shot in the air. Like, la viva. Then they walked up the block. I wonder if this is the direction. Let's see. I'm acting like this is the direction. I think I see a train. Yeah, I'm going the right way. So we start on 61st. This is 62nd Street. The train is on 63rd Street. This is the divider. This side of 63rd is GD. It used to be a McDonald's in a Walgreens right across from that. You're not gonna let me go no further? Guess I gotta put it in. We still on the same street though. I'm putting an address, but we still on the same street, by the way. We not leaving the street. We still on King Drive, but we got to go up a few more blocks, and they won't let me do it. Just scrolling up. I was gonna take you the walking route, right? I was gonna take you the walking route. Shit, we damn near on a walking route. What the fuck they got me at? Does that look like the train? This ain't 66 and King Drive. Where they got me at? This ain't no 66 and King Drive. They building stuff right here. And you don't see the train. I just showed y'all the train. It stopped at the train. I'm going back where I was. I'm going back where I was. Oh, man. Anyway, they walked up 3 blocks, and then they started shooting at the BDs. Now, I may not be the wisest man in Babylon, but I do know that it's not the brightest thing to kick off a war with 2 different cliques that's already at war. You do not want to be the reason that these boys are at peace. You don't want to be the reason they make a peace treaty. After all the blood they spilled over the last 20 years, you do not want to be the reason these boys get together and create a peace treaty. You know what? GDs and BDs made a peace treaty. I feel sorry for the Venezuelans. They are not military trained Venezuelans. Those are rap music listening to Venezuelans with guns, and they gonna get their ass touched, man. The Mexicans don't go on O Block or Tookaville. The Puerto Ricans don't go on O Block or Tookaville. Not bullshit. Like, Mexicans have started to move in that area, taking the abandoned houses and fixing them up, and they real quiet. They don't come outside. They don't walk their dog. They just be in the backyard playing salsa music, dancing around a big ass hat. They don't come outside or nothing. They the best neighbors. When they see you, like, hey, bro, you want some cocaine? All of them do cocaine too, by the way. They would share cocaine with you like the average person. Be like, you want the show on the square? They be like, yo, bro, you want a line? They be the friendliest motherfucker when they move in your hood. They don't want no problems. But they don't do shit. These Venezuelans came in here and make the whole block hot. And I'm gonna tell you something. The Mexicans are not appreciating it, bro. They're not appreciating it. They're not as brown as you think they are. When y'all talk about black and brown coalition and y'all can't tell a FBA from a Nigerian, from a Haitian, from a Jamaican, because, you know, y'all niggas scared to tribe. The Browns tribe all the time, bro. They know Mexican from Puerto Rican off the bat. They know Salvadorian from Venezuelan, from Colombian. They tribe all the time. And the Mexicans don't like that shit. They don't care about that brown shit. They ain't fucking with the Venezuelans either. And the Venezuelan making the block hot. So if at any time they think the blacks are going to go to war with the browns and they can't tell the difference between a Mexican and a Venezuelan, and Mexicans got pipes, bro. Don't get it twisted. Like, you don't want to go to war with them, bro. Like, we went through that shit in the 90s, bro, with the Latin Kings and the Satan Disciples, bro. Like, you don't really want to fuck with them like that. But you can win. But it's they ain't no hoes. But they sure don't want to fight a fight that they ain't got nothing to do with. They rather get this money, man. Give you them dirty ass Mexican bricks for $400 a pound so you can move for $8. They don't really want to go through that bullshit. So, man, where my phone at? Man, make sure y'all sub to the channel, man. Sub to the channel, man. Help your boy with the algorithm, bro. And man, where my phone at? Man, support the show.
Dirty Folks needs your support. Please donate to the Daycare Fund.
Do you have some change?
Alright, I got my phone. Let me see. Motivational system. I ain't getting no alerts, bro. I don't get no alerts. Oh, now I got some alerts. Ain't that something? I gotta click the app to get the alert. No, what the fuck I got that app for? You know what? I want to give a shout out to Kelly for the $5 cash out, man. Gratitude, sir. I want to give a shout out to Mineral Mitch for the $5 cash out. Gratitude, sir. I'm gonna add both of y'all cash apps together. And I'm gonna celebrate both of y'all at the same time. And if no other time is this appropriate, it's appropriate for this particular show. If I can remember where it's at. You would think, man, as much as I play with them. I don't know. I'm at the... No, that's crazy. I don't know. I lost it. I know I didn't. Salute to both of y'all, man.
Do not test me, bitch. I will use my fist. I will smack your lip. I will bust your shit. Don't test me, bitch. Don't test me, girl. Don't test me, bitch.
All right, so now it's time to play the propaganda game, right? Because you always got to propagandize stuff in order for people to understand it's not real, right? So forget about, I need y'all to forget, just forget you saw the Venezuelans put themselves on TikTok shooting at old block. Don't worry about that, right? Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about people calling the police about a disturbance in the apartment complex 2 blocks up. Don't worry about that, right? Don't worry about what's going on in Aurora, Colorado. Don't worry. Don't even be concerned about that. Listen to the press, bro. Listen to the mainstream news. They'll tell you how to think, bro. They got you. Now, this is from last November, but I just wanted to give you guys the concept of how they craft the story on how you should feel, right? If you're a woman, a gay, or a felon. Not even felons, because them boys want to go wild. Because a felon, remember they a man. If you don't add a woman to the mix, even felons remember they a man. Once you add a girl, though, they be acting like bitches. But as long as ain't no girl involved, they remember they a man. It says Chicago is so unpleasant that migrants are fleeing back to Venezuela after being dumped in shelters and refused jobs. With 20,000 border crossers so far, bus to Dim Run, the sanctuary city. Basically, all they saying is they homeless because they can't. This is how we get out of Chicago, by the way. This is how we get out of Chicago. We ain't New York, man. We don't give them apartment buildings and 5-star suites and all that shit. We put them in tents in front of our police department, so as soon as they go do a crime, we escort them right in where they already sleeping. That's how we get out. We put the motherfuckers outside the police department in tents that was donated from Dick's Sporting Goods. Cause fuck them people, man. Anyway, but there is a news. This is from last November. This is right before winter hit. And I want y'all to remember, as y'all play the crayon game, I want y'all to notice what's going on here. Because y'all play the crayon game. I know y'all think y'all black. And I can't even tell y'all not black. All I could do is be like, word. And then I'll put you under the list of dudes that'll kill me over a bitch, right? I don't even really concern myself too much with trying to convince y'all. But
meantime, newly arrived migrants getting their first real taste of the brutal Chicago winter to come.
I know y'all can't hear it. Hold on.
Crews live in Lakeview with more on the city's plans to get them.
Shit, I can't hear it either. What's going on? Oh, I got the wrong mic in. Oh, no. Can y'all hear it? I can't hear nothing.
Kids.
I can't hear nothing.
Parents say exposure to the cold is making their kids sick. We don't know what to do, this Venezuelan mother of 3 confesses with the inevitable arrival of snow and bitter cold. We feel that one way or another, she says, we're trapped. For now.
Let me pause right there. I know where that police station is, too. Let me pause real quick. For all intent and purposes.
For now, at least, no CTA warming buses.
Well, you can't pause on this. For all intent and purposes, y'all will tell me she black. She don't speak English. She got 3 kids, probably about 3 different men. She wear fake weave and shit. Now that part is black. That part black. You know
another, she says, we're trapped.
But y'all will tell me she black. If she learned English, she would tell me that she's FBA. Cause y'all niggas ain't tribal. And y'all don't check y'all bitch, so y'all don't know where your bitches come from. It don't matter where the girl come from, because girl's not tribal. But you would tell me she a black woman and she needs our protection. This was whole Venezuelan. Whole Venezuelan. These are dark-skinned Mexicans. People are like, man, there's dark-skinned people in Mexico, but they never show them. She might as well be a dirty Mexican. She whole Venezuelan. Ain't nothing black about her. Once y'all start going by nationality instead of playing these fucking crayon games, y'all might be alright. That might be y'all first step to tribalism, man.
We feel that one way or another, she says, we're trapped. For now, at least, no CTA warming buses in the afternoon outside the snow-capped tent village housing homeless immigrants at Chicago's 19th Police District.
Aquí solo hay 4 niños pequeños.
Here there are 4 small children, this Venezuelan father shows us, and a young girl over here pointing to tents where he says families sleep.
Tengo 3 niños, uno es 5 años.
I have 3 children, he tells us, ages 5, 3, and 1. The 25-year-old dad reluctant to reveal his identity, not wanting to offend his 19th district hosts. 25
years old with 3 kids. He probably got a girl somewhere. I want y'all to catch the narration, right? Chicago winters are cold. First they show you a goofy Venezuelan bitch that y'all gonna say is black because y'all don't have no tribalism in you. Then they won't show the face of the Venezuelan man, but they'll let him pimp his kids. They showed you his kids in the tent. The only thing that was missing right there is Sally Struthers like, for only 63 cents a day, we can do it. I was looking for that button yesterday. I couldn't find it. Anyway, only 63 cents a day. That's all that's missing from his story. Yeah, Clay, you gotta hit rewind, bro. I showed that clip already. I just showed it, man. They ran up on O Block. Bus stops at O Block. But let's go back. But that's not the narrative that they want to give you. They want to give you the black woman, quote unquote, right? Because they got to show you a black bitch. They can't show you a dirty white bitch. They can't even show you the arch nemesis of Snowman, like a dirty red hair with green eyes. They can't even show you an orphan Annie. And Orphan Annie is called Orphan Annie because she was an orphan. They can't even show you that type of white chick. They got to show you a dirty Venezuelan that y'all gonna call black, and then they got to show y'all a bunch of small kids to tug at your heartstrings. Fuck the fact they shooting up everything. Don't worry about that. This is what they're showing you.
Feel that one way or another, she says, we're trapped. For now, at least, no CTA warming buses in the afternoon outside the snow-capped tent village housing homeless immigrants at Chicago's 19th Police District.
Aquí solo hay 4 niños pequeños.
Here there are 4 small children, this Venezuelan father shows us, and a young girl over here pointing to tents where he says families sleep.
Tengo 3 niños, uno es 5 años.
I have 3 children, he tells us, ages 5, 3, and 1. The 25-year-old dad reluctant to reveal his identity, not wanting to offend his 19th district hosts, because he claims there's not enough room in the lobby to house all the children, many of them, he says, getting sick.
No es justo lo que nos hacen los mismos policías.
It's not just, the father tells us, that police officers are denying an indoor space for my son, he alleges. We reached out to police to get their assessment on sleeping arrangements at the 19th District, News Affairs referring us to the mayor's office.
La situación es un poco difícil.
The situation is a little...
Real quick. Did he just blame the police for not letting them in the police station, bro? That's crazy, right? He just said, yo, the police won't let my son act like he's arrested and let him be, or like he paying somebody bail or something, and let him be in the lobby of the police station. I told you, bro, they coming up here and they trying to pimp these kids and pimp these hoes, bro. They doing the same thing Keisha does. They doing the same thing. Well, I know, man, they be like, oh, I'm a family man. But they doing Keisha rules on y'all niggas. Protect my kids. Don't let my kids be cold. Don't worry about me. Worry about my kids. And once you worry about their kids, what they gonna say? What about me? I got to be with my kids. I'm a good dad. Look, fuck these people, man. Fuck these people, man. But this is what the media wants to, and this Chicago media. This is the messages that media wants to give you. So let's continue.
Bit difficult because the truth is it has been very cold. You may be wondering if Illinois' Child Welfare Agency has concerns about kids spending their days and nights in the cold. A DCFS spokesperson says that the agency hasn't received any complaints, but didn't respond to a follow-up question about whether it would investigate or intervene on migrants' behalf. And the mayor's press office in an evening news release reporting that warming buses are being provided by the Chicago Transit Authority, and they are being positioned at 16 police districts from 8 p.m. until 8 a.m. In Wrigleyville, Julian Cruz, WGN News.
Okay.
I knew that police station. This police station is 1 block away from Wrigley Field. 1 block, maybe 2. Maybe 2 blocks away. Because I've gone to Wrigley Field and then had to go to that police station as a citizen, not as an inmate, bro. Not as an inmate. I didn't get arrested. I went to that police station because there's a there's some Mexicans that sell authentic tacos right in front of Wrigley Field. and my stomach was bubbling, and they let me use the public bathroom in that police station. So I've been in there before. So when I looked, I'm like, I've been in that police station before, but not as a criminal, as a dude with bubble guts. Anyway, that is an affluent neighborhood on the other side of the street, though, right? Because the way Chicago's set up, like, it's just different. That's literally Boys Town. What we call it Boys Town. The rainbow, our rainbow community, we call it Boys Town, right? So they're in the right place now. I think about it. They with the gays. They with the gays. And they in front of a jail, so they with the felons. They double bubble, bro. They double bubble.
That is amazing.
Yeah, they double bubble. Yeah. I'm not even tripping. Now I think about it, they in a full Tyler form, man. Who am I to talk about that shit?
Well, because the white man is the slave master. The rest of the people are the slaves. Why would I submit to a slave? I don't submit to my slave master, which is the white man.
I really gotta remember my keys better. I think I wanted this one.
When you give something to a bitch,
Ain't what I wanted either.
they don't do nothing but take. That's why you don't give them nothing but the dick. Because they can't take that away. You'll see.
That's a good life lesson, but that ain't what I wanted either. I wanted a goddamn Tyler. Where my goddamn Tyler? I'm gonna try one more time. Third time charm. Yeah, man, they in the right place, man. They right there with the gays and the felons. They in the right location. They in the right location, man. We're gonna make this a short show, man. Cause I have so much more. I don't know how long I want to be on here, man. Man, I appreciate the cash. I'll see, man. I'll see after this next part, man. Cause they making they're narrating how you should feel. So on social media is telling you, yo, these motherfuckers can get the fuck up out of here. That's social media. Mainstream media is like, but they need help. They need help. WBEZ News. WBEZ is a radio station for NBC News, WGN News. I can't remember who, but somebody knows. Anyway, they had this whole, it's kind of like NPR, but it's in Chicago. If Chicago had their own NPR, it would be like NPR. And they had a segment in which they were interviewing migrants, right? Well, first they interviewed a professor on migration, but we're gonna skip that because I don't want to hear nobody. I don't want to hear no liberals talking, bro. That's a waste of time, bro. Listen to liberals. But then we still gonna end up with a liberal because we're gonna have to listen to a woman because, you know, why not, right? But so this Venezuelan woman is about to tell us about the Venezuelan experience of leaving their homeland to move to Chicago. There's 2 points that I'll pause them on those 2 points that I really want to eloquate, but I'm gonna let her rock out. I had the time, but I don't know if it's still time. I guess I won't know until I push play. But it's called the Venezuelan Migrant Experience in Colombia versus Chicago. Now the difference between real quick. The difference between a Venezuelan moving to Colombia versus a Venezuelan moving to Chicago is the difference between a Harlem nigga moving to Brooklyn versus a Harlem nigga moving to LA. They're not comparable. Like Colombia is right next door to Venezuela. Like you can walk from Venezuela to Colombia. You can't walk from Venezuela to Chicago. You can catch a bus or one train they get from Harlem, maybe 2 trains. They get from Harlem to Brooklyn. You can't catch the city train. Ain't no $3 cab fare to get from New York to LA. Like that, you migrated. You didn't travel at that point. You migrated. The way that they compared that shit is bananas. The way they compared the fact that Venezuela has 5 million citizens versus America's 330 million citizens, and acts like, well, you know, Venezuelan poorer than America. Yeah. Venezuelan ain't as big as New York. So really, they could go to Venezuela instead of going to New York. But I'm gonna let them rock. Hopefully it's still tagged up where I had it. Let's see. Of course not. Why would it be? Why?
Have been shifting funds to places like Ukraine. Gaza begins October 1st. Yeah, that's definitely
checking in on the South American countries' immigration policies.
All right. So I don't know who this white woman is, but white women are a friend of black men. Shout out to white women. All praise due to white women. I love white women. I love white women. I love white women. Not even sexually. I love white women because only white women can stop black women. The white man can't stop black women. The black man sure as fuck won't stop black women. Ain't none of y'all gonna do what it takes in order to stop my immigration and liberal policies. You know what I mean? Only the white woman can stop black women. And the friend of my enemy is my friend. Well, that's how we gang banging around here. The friend of my enemy is my friend. So shout out to the almighty powerful white woman. Anyway. But the white woman is about to interview a Venezuelan woman who about to victim-splain this whole situation.
As well as its handling of an influx of Venezuelan migrants. Thank you so much for stopping by, Chip.
my pleasure, Sasha.
Let's turn now to WBEZ immigration reporter Adriana Cardona Magigad, who's been reporting on the migrant crisis here.
Wait, what was her name? Alexandria Cardona. What?
Magigad.
What?
Sasha.
Let's turn now to WBEZ immigration reporter Adriana Cardona Magigad, who's been reporting on the migrant crisis here in Chicago. Hey, Adriana.
Hey, Sasha.
Good to see you. You were listening to my conversation with Chip, and I'm curious, when you hear about the way that Colombia's government has responded to this increase in migrants, how would you say it compares to the response that we've been seeing here in the U.S.?
Yeah, well, first I want to acknowledge that there have definitely been efforts here in the city. The city so far has invested some $400 million in offering shelter, food. There's
Chicago has invested $400 million in food and housing for the illegals. And somehow, I feel like we got off light. Because I just found out yesterday, shout out to Hood Conservative, I just found out yesterday that New York has spent $5 billion with a B for their migrants, bro. That is amazing, bro.
That is amazing.
They $5 billion. So we have spent at 1/10 of what New York spent. That's crazy though. 400 million is, but god damn, 5 billion is nuts. 400 million crazy too though. But all right, let's go. How much are those tents? How much they charging for those tents? Anyway.
Just so much that's been coordinated in a very short period of time. But when I think about what cities in the United States, especially Chicago, have done, I feel like it has not gone enough to address the underlying issue of why what migrants need at this moment.
Chicago has not addressed the underlying issue of what illegal aliens need. Motherfuckers we didn't invite. Imagine a person come to your crib and then tell you ain't shit in your refrigerator. Man, why you ain't got no shrimp? Nigga, who invited you? You a burglar going through my shit. That's even worse. It's like a burglar. You wake up at 2 in the morning, you got a burglar in your refrigerator like, hey man, why you ain't got shit in the fridge? Give me some money. Nigga, what? That's crazy, bro. Only women, bro. Like the victim of the women. That's why I played her. That's crazy.
Coming here in the first place.
Exactly, which is, you know, for whatever reason, whether they are fleeing persecution, violence, or, you know, they're not doing well financially in their home country, they need to be stable. They need to, the part of that stability comes with being able to work, being able to access, being able to buy food, being able to provide for yourself. It's kind of like it's what every human being needs, right? So the way Colombia during the first years, and I've known this for so many years because I have family who migrated to Venezuela in the 70s. Then they had to migrate back to Colombia about more than 10 years ago when Venezuela the economy started collapsing. My aunt had a grocery store like a little grocery corner shop in Venezuela, and she no longer could keep up with the demands from the government and just so much.
Yeah.
So they left everything, went to Colombia. And I remember when they were part of all these efforts to integrate, you know, my family or like her kids and all the Venezuelans that came along with them into the fabric of the Colombian economy. And to this day, they haven't migrated to anywhere else. They're there, they're working, they're studying, they're there. And in the United States, I feel like, especially with the restrictive policies that have been also in place. So in one hand,
restrictive policies in place. These motherfuckers are border hoppers. Well, they were escorted. They're border escorters, but the restrictions in place. I want to show you guys something. I'm going to go back to this other article that I did not read, but there was a part in the article in which they were telling you that we should celebrate migrants so migrants can take black jobs. You know, take black jobs, bro. Because y'all, you know, what's a black job? I don't know what a black job is. What's a black job? All right, cool. I know a lot of underemployed people. I don't know a lot of unemployed people, but I know a lot of underemployed people who can use a better job. A lot of people that don't mind working, but they need a little bit more. They have the experience. They have the work experience. They could use a better job. Where is it? In this article, they explain to you, I don't give a fuck about how y'all look. I don't care about y'all little field trip plight. There was I gotta find it. They're talking about, now, when I was talking to Karen Lewis, who was the superintendent of the Chicago Teachers Union, I'm gonna find it real quick. I'm gonna find it. I'm still looking. When I was talking to Karen Lewis, who was the president of the Chicago Teachers Union, and I was talking to Rosita Shalanda. Y'all don't know who Rosita is, but I met Rosita through Natasha Dunn, who y'all do know if y'all look at the people talking loudest now about the migrants got to go, heavyset black woman. They were head of the Chicago Teachers Union and the SCORE Union. SCORE was like an offshoot of CTU. It was like girls who didn't like Karen. So they call it was like Scholastic, something. I forgot what SCORE, the acronym for SCORE was. And I'm telling them then, like, yo, they already teaching in colleges since 2010. They've been teaching in colleges how to teach the teachers how to turn the kids gay. I told them then, because at that time I just started the boys club, and I was like, yo, I know black women to give their kids to anybody but the biological dad, right? So like, I'm gonna come and get all the boys, and all I got to do is tell them I got like a degree in child development or something, and then just give me their kids. I'll tell them I'm a minister and I got a degree, so I bought a ministry degree for like a couple $100, and so I'm an ordained minister, and then I'm like, I'm gonna get a degree from a community college. Ironically enough, the community college is 2 blocks away from where the BD twins bought their building, the Calumet City building. Ironically enough, right? That college, right? On 63rd and Halsted. Anyway, so during that time while I'm going through the early child development course, and it's a bunch of girls. It's only like 3 boys. It's like me and 2 other guys, right? And it's a bunch of women and a teacher, a woman, and they're pulling out books like Me, Mom, and Mommy, or My 2 Dads. And they're like, yo, this is going to be the new curriculum. This is in 2010. They're like, this is going to be the new curriculum. We're going to bring out, it's coming from the top down. They want us to make kids gay sensitive, right? Or gay accepting, or however you want to call it. In 2010, they were talking about that. Before, because you got to teach to the teachers before the teachers could teach it to the students. So, it was already in play. I told them then what was happening. I told them then, I said, man, they're about to shut down the schools. I went, if y'all know me, y'all know I go a lot of places for free food, right? So I ended up at a Chicago Teachers Union celebration dinner because the food was free. It was great food too, bro. It was phenomenal food, man. They had the caterers did great, bro. It was like, man, a whole, like 3 fold-out tables full of food, and you get your plate and you just walk down, but like, I want this, I don't want that. It was a phenomenal spread. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. It was one of my better free meals, bro. One of my better free meals. But you can't just eat and run, right? So I gotta stay, right? I gotta listen to them do their speeches and get their awards because, I'm eating their food, right? And I won the seconds too, so I had to stay, right? I had to stay at least long enough to get 2 plates, right? And I'm listening to them talk about then in 2011 that they want to shut down 48 Chicago public schools, right? They're saying that then in 2011 that they want to shut down 48 Chicago public schools. They ended up shutting down 51. But they want to shut down 48. Now, the schools didn't shut down until 2015, 2016, but they were talking about it in 2011. This might not be the R. It might be the other R. It's the other R. So, I'm telling them, like, look, the fix is in. This is how y'all fix it. They like,
man, folks, you always on some gloom and doom stuff. We women, we strong, we educated, we know stuff. You ain't got to tell us nothing. We going to do whatever. I know Karen Lewis got what's best for this teacher because she used to be a teacher. She going to take us to the promised land. You just a hater. You don't know how this teaching thing work. I'm a teacher. I know how this teaching thing work. We going to do our thing.
4 years later.
Oh my God, I can't believe we ain't got no job. They shut down my schools. All the kids got to go to schools in a different gang zone. All the kids going to be in danger. Now my son got to walk 2 miles to get to school. It's school across the street from my house. That's why we bought this house. Man, now they make me force a layoff because they said I've been here 22 years and now we ain't got no work because they got less schools.
Because it's easy to trick a bitch. It's easy to trick a toddler. Tell them you're going to give them more money. But like, look, we're going to give you $3,000 more money a year. And all of them applauded, right? Like that scene from Star Wars, like this is how democracy dies. With resounding applause, it was like that. I'm gonna give y'all $3,000 more a year, or $5,000 or more a year, and every girl thinks it can't happen to them until the layoffs come because you shut down 51 schools. So was it 20, 30 teachers per school? You shut down 51 schools, man. You got a couple thousand teachers out of a job, right? Easy. Couple thousand teachers out of a job. Forced into retirement. Take your pension now, or we're going to have to lay you off. And then the younger teachers, they can get for less money because they're younger teachers. And then you can, integrate them because they fresh off the classes I just watched. Like, look, you ain't got to teach the kids how to count. Matter of fact, we're going to bring in Common Core to make sure the kids can count because we're going to teach them how to add with multiplication. But you can't do multiplication until you know addition. So we're going to skip addition, go straight to multiplication and get to addition so they can't count. So now all the kids count like girls and you wonder why kids can't count. They all count like girls. Girl teachers, right? And then we're going to teach them how to be gay. We're not going to teach them how to play the violin or the cello or the clarinet. We're not going to teach them Latin or Spanish or French. We're going to teach them how to suck dick. And we're going to teach them how not to count correctly. We're gonna take out all the history books. We ain't gonna do all that. We and all the women gonna capitulate because they don't want to lose their job. They're not gonna fight back. The whole teaching staff in Chicago is 97% women, and the 3% of men, 2% of those men are gay. The only heterosexual man is the gym teacher in elementary school. It's a gym teacher / basketball coach / janitor. And in high school, it's probably like the algebra teacher and the drafting teacher. But most teachers are women. And women go along to get along. That's what I'm telling you. They prime slavery. Y'all just scared. Pimping ain't dead. Slavery ain't dead. Y'all coward niggas just scared. But the teachers union shows you how to do it every year. And then they beg for more money every year. And then they lay off more people every year. I can't find it. I was looking for it. It's literally something in here to say that migrants are going to fill all of the abandoned schools that Chicago has right now. So they're going to help with the school problem. And then they're going to take jobs to help with the unemployment problem. Chicago doesn't have a lack of people that want a job. They have a lack of people that want to work because they raised by women who tell them that working is for suckers, right? Work is for lames. A real man is a scammer, nigga. A real man sell dope, a scam. Anyway, I can't find it. I was looking. I know I read it though. Talking about they bringing in people to open up the schools back. So you're gonna open back the schools you shut them down for the black kids. Made them, you know what I'm saying, brought in charter schools, put the charter school in the parking lot of the public school, all that shit. You did everything against the black kids, but then you're gonna let the migrants get the old black schools. All right, cool. And the teachers union gonna let them. It's not a black problem. These are things from the top down. This is what happens when you let women and gays and boomers run shit. And I could say felons, really, I really could. Because when I say boomers, they're mostly ministers. When you look at them old boomers, that's activists. They normally ministers and pastors. Where they find God at? Jail, nigga. So they former felons. Like, this is what happens when you let that shit ride. Because they black. Motherfuckers don't even be black. They don't be your black. Because they don't have no allegiance to you. They got somewhere else they can go back to. Y'all trust motherfuckers that can go back somewhere. Like that bitch you gonna say black, but she can go back to Venezuela. She saw one snowflake and started thinking about going back to South America. Like, fuck it, I'm living on the street in America. I could live on the street in Venezuela. They got it back to. Y'all ain't got no tribalism. Y'all won't choke a bitch. Y'all won't do shit right. Y'all will kill a nigga though over a bitch. Y'all won't kill nobody else though. Y'all motherfuckers. Anyway, back to this.
There are, there's financial aid being approved to address this humanitarian crisis, but it doesn't address the issue that, people come here to fulfill an American dream, right? And they want to have work permits. They want to have some sort of legal path to be able to do it legally. No one goes to Colombia to live the Colombian dream, right? That's not a thing. There's financial aid being approved to address this humanitarian crisis, but it doesn't address the issue that, people come here to fulfill an American dream, right? And they want to have work permits. They want to come here to fulfill an American dream, right? To address this human issue that, people come here to fulfill an American dream, right? There's financial aid being approved to address this humanitarian crisis, but it doesn't address the issue that, people come here to fulfill an American dream, right?
People come here to fulfill an American dream. They don't come here to be American. They come here because they think it's the land of milk and honey. But then she doubled down on it.
And they want to have work permits. They want to have some sort of legal path to be able to do it legally. No one goes to Colombia to live the Colombian dream, do it legally. No one goes to Colombia to live the Colombian dream.
No one goes to Colombia to live the Colombian dream. She started this off, say, the 1970s. Since the 1970s, her family's been leaving Venezuela to move to Colombia. They became part of Colombia. They bought homes in Colombia. They started businesses in Colombia. But that's not the Colombian dream. To come to America and get a house and start a business in America, that's the American dream though, right? But to do the exact same thing that y'all been doing for 50 years, 50 fucking years in Colombia, you didn't go to Colombia to live the Colombian dream.
Hey y'all, Masters are coming. He's a coming, y'all. Masters are coming. Here we come. Look, guys.
This is why you don't listen to girls with clothes on. This is why you don't listen to girls with clothes on, bro. I don't care what race she is. This is why you do not listen to girls with clothes on. But anyway.
Right? That's not a thing.
Okay.
They go because they're looking for a different place. But the United States has done this for years and years and years and years. Welcome immigrants from all over the world in one way or the other.
Let me skip up a little bit.
But as long as you don't really consider the root of the problem,
yeah,
we're not gonna get too far.
Well, you talked about the federal level there as it comes to work permits, but you recently spoke to an Illinois lawmaker who said that she's exploring the possibility of a change in state law to try to open up work permits for migrants and all undocumented workers. Is that right?
Well, states are having to get creative. Work permits for immigrants is a federal issue. So states
have to get creative, and the feds got to step up so a bunch of illegals can come into your nation, take your homes, shoot at your projects, sell $20 coochie, and replace you. She's begging America to replace you, and you voting for it. When you vote Kamala, you voting for your replacement. But it gets better.
Cannot just give a work permit to immigrants, even if they wanted to, right? So they have to get like this, like the federal government has to approve that. But some states, given the inaction, are starting to submit proposals to draft bills. New York has done that. Utah is in the process of doing that. Yes, it's an uphill battle, and they might get. They might get some legal challenges, but while Illinois has been a welcoming state, and for example, they have driver licenses for undocumented immigrants.
Let me pause right there. She said they got driver's licenses for undocumented immigrants. In 2022, I had to renew my driver's license. I didn't even know. Because I don't check my email, right? Like, I could have done it on a certain date. Had I checked my email, I could have just done it electronically. But I didn't know. So I had to I had to go to the DMV, right? Right across the street from the DMV is it's a high school and a community college. It's called, what is that? That's not Olive Harvey. No, Chicago State University. It's right behind Chicago State University. I went on 99th and King Drive. King Drive again. Goddamn. I went on 99th and King Drive to that DMV, the campus of Chicago State University is from 95th to 98th and King Drive, so it's right there. The first thing that I thought was, why are all the boys and girls dressed alike, right? That was my first thought, right? You had the kids from high school and the kids going to college. They were all dressed alike. All the girls had on leggings. All the boys had on jeggings. Everybody had hoodies. Everybody had dreads. The boys and the girls. You couldn't tell the difference between a boy and a girl, except the boys' leggings was in denim and the girls' leggings was in polyester. I'm like, yo, this is some androgynous shit. We done brought the 1980s back. This shit's crazy, bro. It's fucking crazy.
That is amazing.
But that was my first thought. So I get to the DMV. I've been going to the DMV my whole life, right? Since I was, I don't know, 16, 18. I've been going to the DMV, right? I have never had to have an appointment. When I get there, there's only like 4 people in the DMV. They got security all outside talking about, by state mandate from JB Prick's a fat ass, you can no longer come to the DMV without an appointment. And when you go get the appointment, you can't miss your appointment. You can't be late for your appointment. You can't be early for your appointment. You got to be at the exact time of your appointment or you miss your appointment, and the waiting time can be. Do I have a drum roll in here? A drum roll would be nice. There ain't no drum roll. I'm gonna learn my buttons one day. Between 2 to 6 weeks. It will take you between 2 to 6 weeks to get an appointment to go to the DMV to get your license renewed. When I asked the security why, nobody could give you an answer. They know the answer. They be like, we can't tell you, it's confidential. But you know, I be buttering people up. You know, I be swaggerlicious, right? So I catch the weakest link, man, and we chopping it up, and I'm like, man, let me slide. He's like, I can't let you slide. I'm like, what's going on? He told me what's going on. He said, man, the state took over the Secretary of State took over the DMV to get appointments because they need the illegals to be able to have an appointment to come get a driver's license. The fuck? Do you even got a car? Oh, we got a test car. We got the car that, you know, they're supposed to check your driver test in when you're in high school, right? They got 2 test cars. They're giving illegals who can't even read the fucking language driver's licenses, doing just the driving portion without the written test, and they have to get an appointment because it's a special appointment for the migrants. Bruh. So her joy, like, I gotta use the voice.
Illinois has been very nice, and you know they'll let you get a driver's license and all that.
You shouldn't be able to get that, bitch. My driver's license was suspended for 20 fucking years, bitch. And I had to go through all type of shit. Every time I tried to drive, I got a new suspension. And y'all just come over here with you don't even know the fucking language. Ain't even got a car. And they open up just so y'all can vote. Because if you got a driver's license, when you in Illinois, I don't know about other places. But in Illinois, when you get a driver's license, they ask you 2 things on top of your driver's license. They ask you if you want to be an organ donor, and they ask you if you want to register to vote. They will register you to vote and make you an organ donor at the same time. You just got to check the box. You can say yes or no, but just check the box. So if you go get your L's, you're a registered voter. You just check the box. Yeah, ladies, 20 years, bro. You know why? Because they suspended my license, but I'm still driving. So every time you get caught driving on suspended license, it's another year of suspension. So they was running the numbers, bro. Like every year I get suspended. One time they stacked, I had like a 3-year suspension. I didn't get my license back, honestly, until I got shot in 2015. Because I was on bed rest damn near a year. It took that year of me not being able to really move around in order for the year suspension to expire for me to get my license back. Anyway, because I want to go not drive. I got to get around. Anyway, so, and then I had to pay all the fines. It was like $6,000 in old tickets and all type of dumb shit. Anyway, so, here's the thing. The reason they got licenses is so they can register to vote. That's the play. The play ain't about the car. The play is about the vote. The Secretary of State took over the DMV so these motherfuckers could vote. They're illegal. They're not citizens. The vote is for citizens. All this shit is a racket. Run by the Democrats. We got a Democratic governor now, so it's all a Democratic plot. Man, you better vote Republican all the way down the list next time, bro. Republican all the way down the list. For heterosexuality, bro. This ain't about color. This ain't even really about tribalism. This is about not being castrated, not getting rammed in, not getting pegged, bro. Just as a heterosexual man, just put R all the way down from now on until further notice, bro. Vote Republican all the way down until further notice. Bruh. I'm telling you, they doing all type of shit out here, bro.
There's been this question that I've been asking, like, where are you when it comes to state work permits?
Mm-hmm.
And so I recently spoke with the state representative Lisa Hernandez, who said that she doesn't want to stop where, you know, she's just drafting a resolution or just waiting around Biden, that she's definitely exploring possibilities of perhaps introducing.
I don't know who Representative Hernandez is or Valdez was. I'm schooled up a little bit more to what I'm looking for. But once again, Mexicans don't like them. So Miss Valdez or whatever the fuck she is, they don't. Mexicans have taken over temporary temp jobs, right? Like, for some reason, black men don't start temp job agencies unless it's through a church. Like, churches have temp agencies in them, but like, it's a service, right? But and they use the church van, they drop you off at work, or whatever. But Mexicans have actual agencies for the, where they whoever you put in, right? It don't matter who you put in. They like, we got 60 workers. They don't want to be the same 60 workers every day. It don't matter. It's day labor shit. When the Mexicans move, because the Mexicans are tribal. Because me and my boy, teacher, and he wanted to have a summer job. And got him, and I was in between jobs at the time. So we used to go together to the temp agency, bro. And we used to watch the Mexican woman, who was the secretary, and all the Mexican men in the back, who were the administrators, call every single Mexican in that office before they called anybody black or white. No blacks, no white, all Mexicans. If it was any space left over, they'd be like, all right, black guys, white guys. They'll get the Mexican women to work in the warehouse before they pick a man if he ain't Mexican. It was so racist that me and my boy got a class action suit check 2 years later. Somebody was like, yo, some bullshit. And we got a check 2 years ago for a class action lawsuit based on the racism, how tribal Mexicans are. You think the Mexicans are going to look out for Venezuelans? Mexicans don't like Venezuelans. They don't like blacks either. But they like blacks more than Venezuelans. The enemy you know, right? Anyway, man, like as y'all come in, man. Like as y'all come in, send your heart, donate to the daycare, man. Oh, man. That's crazy. Anyway.
But a lot of these people, like many have stayed here. Some of them have moved to other states. I hear people, it's just this number. Some of them have moved in migrant. We've had
many migrants live here now. So we're all on the same page, Adriana. Set the scene. What are the latest numbers here in Chicago? How many migrants live here now? And are we expecting that number to go up?
Okay, so far we've had maybe more than 43,000 migrants coming to Chicago, but a lot of these people,
43,000 migrants in Chicago. 43,000. In the prior, we're going to come right back to her. In the prior thing that was just from last November, it was a little bit more than 20,000 migrants, right? Just last November. So they doubled up in a year, right? Because the game don't stop, right? The shit don't stop till the Chris don't pop, right? Over 40,000 illegal criminals. Illegal criminals. I need y'all to understand that. 40,000 criminals bust into Chicago. I'm going to let her keep rocking because she's going to say some of them left and blah, blah, blah.
More than 43,000 migrants coming to Chicago. But a lot of these people, like many have stayed here. Some of them have moved to other states. I hear people, it's just this number is flowing. So,
and we're talking about since August of 2022.
Since August of 2022, the number of migrants staying in shelters has declined a lot. It's now, like some 6,798 people. That number keeps changing across 17 active shelters. So the city has closed a lot of shelters. They used to have like 28 plus, and now has 17. So
where have these people gone? Have they found housing?
Well, yes, and
before you talk about the housing, I want to talk about shelters real quick. When you go to a shelter, you can't stay at the shelter. You can sleep in the shelter. You can't stay at the shelter. All right. So when you see the panhandlers out there, they may be going to the shelter, but they have to be at the shelter by like 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock or something like that. Like I've driven past shelters before and saw how long the line was to get in on a first come first served basis. You had to be in by a certain time, but you got to be out by a certain time, right? And do whatever you're gonna do with your day. Look for a job, preferably. I assume that's what they think you're doing, and then you come back to the shelter at night. So once upon a time, under Mayor Daley, this had to be 1998. 1998. All the homeless people in Chicago used to live downtown on Lower Wacker, right under the Hyatt Regency Hotel, right? Like you would never see them from Main Street. Like when you see pictures of the skyline of Chicago, you will never see them. But there's an entire city under downtown, bro. Like it's called Lower Loop, and it's how commerce is done, right? Like you can drive down Lower Wacker Drive. You can drive down there, but that's like where all the trucks go through, right? So because you need so much stuff to run a metropolitan area, right? So every store has a storage dock in the basement of all those skyscrapers, and all the trucks come underground. Well, not underground. It's a street. I'm telling you, it's a totally different level under the street level of downtown Chicago. It's crazy. It's crazy architecture work. Shout out to the white man. Shout out to the white man. The white man reversed the Chicago River, and then he built a city under a city, but just downtown, right? He probably had to be tiny hats because there's a lot of tunnels. But so the homeless used to live because all the heating vents are down there, right? That's where your generators are for the restaurants and hotels. There's a lot of heating ducts down there. So the homeless used to live under the Hyatt Regency on Wacker Drive, right under the big heating vents that they had, right there. So, Thanksgiving of 1998, I ain't gonna never forget this shit, bro, because it was crazy, bro. It's crazy. Like, whenever Thanksgiving is, let's say Thanksgiving November 25th. Why not? We're gonna say Thanksgiving November 25th. So on November 25th or 24th, Mayor Daley, because Mayor Daley was the mayor at that time, he told all the homeless people that he's going to give a Thanksgiving feast. And he did. And they actually rounded up all the homeless people from under Lower Wacker and took them to a restaurant, like a 2 or 3 star joint. It wasn't like no fancy stuff, but it was like a lot of food, bro. Like, think like we don't have an Old Country buffet in Chicago city limits, but think we do have Old Country buffet. Think Old Country buffet, or think we don't have Golden Corral. Think Golden Corral, Old Country buffet, something like that, right? So they took them all there on a city budget, like eat all you want. It was turkeys everywhere, all the stuffing you could eat. Fed them real well. While all the homeless people were eating on the city's dime, Mayor Daley had a secret construction crew go in and put gates up under every hotel and store in Lower Wacker Drive, bro. That shit was wild, bro. That shit was wild.
My congeniality is fucked. I have no sensors, and I need to be stopped.
I'm gonna figure out my buttons, bro. Ain't what I meant to do. I meant to do this.
Hell no, to the no.
I forgot I switched them 2 buttons so I wouldn't forget. Man, anyway, I'm on one today, bro. I ain't had no tequila, bro. I think I'm better when I'm drunk. Anyway, I'm more coherent when I'm not, though. But all right, anyway, so since 1998, Chicago has been having a war on the homeless, right? We are reallocating homeless. We are like Chicago really don't do homeless, bro. Well, they didn't until Lori Lightfoot. Chicago really didn't do homeless. Our trains were safe until Lori Lightfoot. There weren't really any any notable homeless people in Chicago before Lori Lightfoot. Like, you just didn't see them. Like, they always existed, but you didn't see them. You would see them when they asked you for change or something like that. But they knew the rules of homelessness. Like, we had safe home. Well, I felt safe around homeless. I mean, we had annoying homeless, right? Like, man, I ain't got no change, bro. Nah, I ain't got no change, bro. We had annoying homeless. Now we have dangerous homeless. Ever since we let the women and the woman was gay too, but the gay woman and then the new gay, the bisexual gay, in office, and they have no ability to seize authority on anything, right? Because the only thing they really hate, when you're a gay black man or you're a black woman, the only thing you really hate is black men. That's it. You only hate black men. You don't hate white men or migrants, or you only hate black men. So they have no idea how to have authority over a city that operates as its own autonomy with all type of people. That's why you always say, man, I ain't gonna do nothing exclusively for black people. And then they turn around and do shit exclusively for black women. So when they tell you they ain't doing shit exclusively for black people, they mean black men. Not exclusively for black people, but you have social services, you have Goldman Sachs giving money, you have all type of shit happening, right? For women and gays. Black gays get it too. They mean black men. Vote Republican all the way down the thing, bro. Anyway. So now she's talking about there's less homeless people. There's 7,000 homeless people in the shelters in Chicago. I don't know if she counted how many people live in tents in front of the police station, but I'm going to let it play 3 more minutes and then we'll move on.
It's been an uphill battle there too. A lot of people has been able to, a lot of people have been able to find housing. They got, some people qualify for this rent assistance program through the state. Some migrants are having to just kind of like figure it out on their own. But again, without the ability to have a stable job, again, because of this lack of permits and all of that, people are, whether they have help or not, they may be able to cover the first few months of rent. Mm-hmm. And then after that, it's really hard for them to keep up.
I've talked to a number of immigration advocates on the show, especially in this time frame over the past 2 years, and many are framing it as a housing crisis rather than a migrant crisis. Would you agree?
Well, just imagine Chicago.
I'm going to shut it down on that. A housing crisis, not a migrant crisis. Everything she said was the government needs to do blah, blah, blah. The city needs to do blah, blah, blah. The state has done blah, blah, blah. They're acting like they're free and natural citizens of America who just came back to the crib and their key didn't work. This is not the gang's gonna save your city move. Your cities are against you. Your government is against you. I want to show you guys one more thing. I was about to get up out of here. I mean, I wanted to have an open panel, but y'all ain't really supporting the show. Matter of fact, support the show, man. While I look for this last little clip, I want to show you something.
My congeniality is fucked. I have no censors, and I need to.
Yo, that one was just total negligence on my part. That one was just fucked up. That was just me. Support the show.
Hey, baby. How much do you need?
Not much. Just enough for a new wig and a BBL.
Can dirty folks get some cash apps too, please, kind sir?
I'm going to show you guys something. I ain't even had this loaded up at first. Give me a second. Let me show you guys. I saw this video the other day. That properly eloquates this type of thing. You know what? sent me that video. I guess I'm gonna have to do a part 2 and put that video on part 2, cause I can't find it. But it totally went with this whole scenario. I can't find it. Somebody sent it to me like 2 days ago. I should have done the show on it 2 days ago. Anyway, but I do got one other video that I'm gonna show y'all just cause it's funny. It don't have nothing to do with nothing we talking about today. This actually was gonna be the first part. I was actually gonna make this a longer stream because I had so much more content I wanted to do about this that got into the black part of it, just not just a Venezuelan, but I might just do a black part of the growing, like the growing pains that we're going through with the migrants. I may do a part 2 on that, but this has nothing to do with neither one of them. I just thought that this was hilarious, and I want y'all to tell me, should I put a poll up? I might should put a poll up. I want y'all to tell me if I should make this a clip for the show, because I saw this, and this the white man doing the Lord's work. Matter of fact, let me see if I can make this even bigger. Let's see if I can make this even bigger. Yeah, that's even better. Let's watch this play out.
I will butt fuck this bitch on the table right now. Please, somebody call Donald Trump. I'm not playing this game anymore, you fucking pussy bitch.
Should I put that in my Hour 5 clips? Let me know, chat. Should I be part of my Hour 5 clips? I saw that and I was like, I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I like it because that's a sign of a man trying to walk away because he don't want no problems, and then the girl looking for a problem, and him like, if you want a problem, no problem. I don't know if I should make that an Hour 5 clip. If I make that an Hour 5 clip, I gotta replace this one. So I don't want to replace this one though, because I like this one. I'm trying to teach you guys how to be American, man. Look. Yeah, you're right. My channel might not grow. I can't. Yeah, you might be right. I like it, though. I saw it. I said, oh, my God. This is a true blue American man right here. He ain't ducking no smoke. You notice that when you don't duck smoke, it's cool, right? Like, everybody wants somebody to be the alpha male until it's against a woman. And then they be like, oh, my God, I can't believe he has no self-restraint. That man was walking away, and she cornered him while he was walking away. And he was like, it's going to give him to you. You're going to give him to you. Yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, I got a part 2 to this, bro, but I'm not going to do it right now. I want to talk about the whole thing, man, how much y'all get back for reparations, why you need reparations, how many people get it. Man, the time in which, how fast black men got money in America. I may do a part 2. I might do a part 2 because we already running long, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man. Yeah, I'm gonna let that one. I'm gonna let that one be. Yo, as always, I appreciate everybody that tuned in, bro. I appreciate all the comments, man. I appreciate the cash outs, man. Once again, man. Special thanks to Kelly and Mineral Mitch for the cash apps, man. As always, man, love your brothers. You know what? Before I go, yesterday, a guy by the name of Fuse Collins had a birthday. Facebook told me, right? Like, I didn't remember. Facebook told me. Fuse wanted to be a movie director. And back in the day when I was a little bit more ambitious, you know, before I was like, fuck you coloreds, and I had to find a new path. I was doing, I was testing out my acting chops, right? I didn't want to be an actor. I just wanted to do commercials. Like, I always went in Chicago, like, everybody got their thing. But in Chicago, we had this one guy called the Empire Carpet Man. And for like 40 years, when you saw him, it was time to buy some carpet, right? That he was the brand ambassador for Empire Carpet. Kind of like the Gecko Geico or Flo from Progressive Insurance, right? I always wanted to be a pitch man. Like, I used to watch infomercials at 2 in the morning. That was my thing. Like, man, one day, you know, and shout out to Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy did a movie about that. What was it called? Soul Man? Something like that. Where some guy just became a pitch man for QVC. Like, that's what I wanted to be. I'm like, yo, I want to be an infomercial god, nigga. I want to be like, you know, Billy. I want to call him Billy Blast. That ain't his name. Like, clean with OxyClean. That's what I want to be. And this guy Fuse believed in me, bro. He believed in the dream. He fucked up me. He fucked up the pussy though. He fucked up the pussy. But I grabbed a girl, and he and this guy, they came in and filmed my first commercial. The first commercial I ever did. And Fuse had a stroke or a heart attack. He was a heavyset dude. He had a heart condition maybe 4 years ago, and he passed away. And yesterday being his birthday, and I didn't do a show yesterday. I want to give an outro with my very first commercial that Fuse did the whole thing, the edit. He found the music. I wrote the script, but he made my idea a reality. He showed me what it is. I told him what I wanted to do. He told me what I couldn't do. I told him, I said, man, it's your job, bro. Like, I asked you because you're the expert. And he cut and spliced it. So as a tribute, man, I'm going to go out on the very first commercial and the project that me and Fuse did together. Heavenly happy birthday to Fuse Collins, man. Love your brothers as you love yourself. Feed the pack. Tribe up.
Gasp for breath as water stroke after stroke. Her legs quaked and her muscles, oh shit, Dion, at the top of her lungs, and swallowed his meat whole. Her hands grabbed his hips and she pushed and pulled, forcing him to thrust his pole back and forth against her twisting tongue, as it gradually turned into more than she could swallow. She moved her hands to the shaft and
Crusader Publishing, where books come to life.
Faded night, painted through those city lights, full of smoke.